In a small village at the foot of the misty hills lived a man named Akira. His life, once full of hope and dreams, had become a series of disappointments and failures. If you've ever felt like Akira, read on to find out how he found his way. Years ago, Akira had started a business with the goal of taking care of his family, to provide them with everything they needed. But fate seemed to be against him. Despite his efforts, his business failed, and his once loving and supportive family drifted away. Akira felt like he had let them down, and this weight was crushing him more and more every day. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories like Akira's. One morning, Akira decided to leave the village. He felt that his presence was no longer needed, that the world would be better off without him. So he walked towards a nearby mountain, where he hoped to find peace in the silence of the heights. At the top, he sat on a rock, looking down at the world below with a heavy heart. Memories of his failures haunted him. The faces of his family, once filled with trust and love, were now shadows of disappointment. Why continue? He wondered, tears streaming down his face. As he pondered the point of no return he had reached, a figure silently appeared behind him. It was an elderly monk named Ren, whose face radiated a deep calm. Without saying a word, he sat down next to Akira. For a moment they remained silent, sharing the same view but seeing it through different eyes. Finally Ren spoke. "Why do you cry, my son? What weighs so heavily on you that you have come all this way, far from everything you know?" Akira, almost offended by the monk's intervention, replied brusquely, "What does it matter to you? My life is now a pile of failures. I have nothing left to offer, neither to my family nor to myself." Ren remained impassive, his voice soft and reassuring. "If it is true that you have left everything, why do you still carry this weight inside you? Why is your heart so oppressed?" Akira looked at the monk in confusion. "Weight? I have nothing with me, not even a bag or supplies. I am here alone with myself, and the remnants of a wasted life." The monk smiled slightly, a light of compassion in his eyes. "I do not mean what you carry in your hands, but the weight you carry in your heart. It is the burden of the past that weighs you down, the failure you cannot let go of. As long as you hold on to what has been, you will never be able to truly free yourself." Have you ever felt the weight of the past? Share your experience in the comments and how you managed to overcome it. Akira lowered his gaze, feeling the truth of Ren's words. Even though he had climbed up that mountain with the intention of abandoning everything, he realized that the past still held him prisoner. Unfulfilled expectations, criticism from his family, and comparisons with others had paralyzed him. Ren continued, "Have you ever tried to look inside yourself, to observe the invisible weight you carry? Failure is not external, my son. It is not in your business or in the criticisms of others. It is within you, and until you recognize it, it will follow you wherever you go." The monk's words penetrated Akira's heart like a thin blade. He realized that his entire life had been conditioned by the expectations of others. He had always tried to prove something, to achieve a success that would make him worthy of respect and love. But now, sitting next to that monk, he understood that the real failure was not in his business, but in his heart, unable to accept himself for what he was. With a deep sigh, Akira said, "Then what should I do, Master? How can I free myself from this burden? I've tried everything, but nothing seems to work." Ren looked at him kindly and took a small wooden box from under his cloak. "There's a secret in this box. It's not something you can see or touch, but when you reach a point where you can't see a way out, open it, not before." Akira accepted the box with a little hesitation. "And what will happen when I open it?" The monk smiled once more. "You will find what you need, but only when you are ready." With these words, Ren stood up and with one last look full of wisdom, disappeared into the trees of the mountain. Akira remained there, clutching the box in his hands, feeling that, even if he didn't have all the answers, he had found a small glimmer of hope. The secret to moving forward sometimes comes at the most unexpected moments. Have you ever had a moment of revelation? Share it with us. In the days that followed, Akira returned to the village. He decided to resume his life, but this time without the anxiety of having to prove something. He focused on each single day, trying to live in the present, without being crushed by the past or worrying excessively about the future. His business slowly began to recover, and his family, seeing the change in him, began to return to him. Time passed, and Akira learned to enjoy the little things in life. The wind blowing through the trees, the birds singing in the morning, the smiles of his family. He felt that, despite the difficulties, he was finally living with a sense of inner peace. But like all things, even happiness did not last forever. A series of unpredictable events led his business to final failure. The village was hit by a serious crisis, and Akira found himself with nothing again. This time, however, it was not only his business that collapsed, but also his family, who found themselves in extreme difficulty. His wife and children fell ill, and Akira, desperate, did not know how to help them. In desperation, Akira remembered the box Ren had given him. He took it, and with shaking hands, opened it. Inside, he found a small mirror and a note that read, "The courage to move forward always comes from within. No matter how lost you feel, the strength is always within you. Look at yourself, and you will find the way." Here comes the revealing moment. The courage we seek is within us, and often it is the only thing we truly need to overcome obstacles. Akira looked in the mirror, and for the first time saw not a failed man, but a man who had fought, who had loved, and who had tried to live to the best of his ability. He realized that it was not failure that defined him, but the courage to continue despite it all. With a new determination, Akira stood up. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew one thing. As long as he had the strength to look inside himself, he would always find a reason to keep going. Don't forget, the answers we seek are often already within us. Sign up for more stories of inner strength like this. And so, Akira learned that life is not just about successes and failures, but about moments lived with awareness and acceptance. The past and the future no longer had the power to dominate him, because he had found the true secret of peace, living in the present with all that it entails.